any of you struggle with meetings that seem to wander all over the place, that drone on and on, drifting with no end in sight? Meetings that accomplish a lot less than you would have hoped. Well, I think we've all been there, whether in the meetings or ones that we host, unfortunately. With some simple adjustments, given the time and proper practice, can make a huge difference within your organization. What I'd like to do is share with you some meeting rhythms and communications that could begin to reshape the effectiveness. So there are 5 blocks of time for communication that we recommend when scaling an organization. One, which I'll go into more detail, is the daily huddle. This is really about synchronizing your communication. It's tactical and it's quick. Same time every day. Weekly, it's about focusing time to collaborate. It's focusing on the priorities. Typically, it's 60 to 90 minutes. These priorities are typically gathered from either the dashboard, things that may be yellow or red, or follow on things that came up during the daily huddle. Monthly, it's looking at what are some of the themes, what are some of the things we're seeing that the data is showing, what are the bigger issues. It could be something we've heard from a client, something that's not going well. It could be a place where a colleague or two are stuck. It's about learning and solving the bigger issues. Quarterly, we're focusing on more strategy. It's really about what happened the last 13 weeks and did you make the numbers? Did you focus on the priorities? What went well? And what's the next 13 weeks going to look like? And then, of course, annually, it's about strategizing and planning. When you look at your 3 to 5 year goal out, how did year 1 go in terms of moving that needle? What went well, what didn't? When you look at the current environment, what needs to be adjusted, and then putting that plan forward, again, focusing on that 3 to 5 years out. And typically that's 2 days. So let's dig a little deeper into the daily huddle. If there's only one takeaway that you have from today, I highly recommend to implement the daily huddle. Some of the leaders we all know, Steve Jobs, John Rockefeller, they had daily huddles with their direct reports. John Rockefeller used to go to breakfast every day with his 2 lieutenants, and they would talk about what happened the last 24 hours and what the focus that they have right in front of them. So if we think about, there's daily huddles that happen every day that we may not even be aware of. In a hospital, when a nurse or a doctor starts their shift, they meet with their colleagues to talk about which are the patients that are around, what needs to happen, what condition are they in, what kind of medicine do they need, who needs to be a priority, all of those things. In a construction site at the beginning of the day and probably after lunch, they group to talk about what needs to happen for the next few hours, who's responsible for what. I live in New York City, and by corner, the policemen come together every morning at the beginning of their shift. They all are handed a piece of paper to focus on what their goals and focus are on for that day. And of course, we know that huddles happen throughout sports. We see that, of course, for what's the next play in football, in baseball, in every sport that we have. So if you look around, I bet you'd be surprised that daily huddles occur in different ways, sometimes sitting, sometimes standing, very informally, some more formally, but they're happening every single day. And in organizations, we're looking at something that's 5 to 15 minutes. Same time every day. And you may be part of 1 to 3 daily huddles. If I lead a team, I'll be at that daily huddle. I may lead a few teams. If I'm part of another team or want to hear what's going on, I may be part of another daily huddle. So the chances are you're part of 1 to 3, which will take you somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes to 45 minutes. But it's going to save you tons of time because you've just got the update on everything that's going on. The goal of the huddle is to reduce the communication gaps and keep everyone focused and working towards a shared organizational goal. They serve as a daily synchronization for the entire team. What's the focus for the next 24 hours? So typically, the daily huddle is broken down into equal communication time and importance for all. There's usually 5 areas. These can vary a little bit, but whatever you decide it is, just be consistent and quick and concise. First time around, good news. People start with a quick good news or positive opening phrase to start with. It could be non-work related, such as, hey, the Yankees won. Woo! I got engaged. I'm grateful that I had family time. I learned to play the flute, whatever it may be. Second time around, what are the 1 to 3 must happens in the next 24 hours? Sometimes people talk about 3 to 5 things that have to happen that week. But what it is, it's about focusing on the main tasks that each person needs to be completed that day or throughout the week. This allows fellow employees to know exact priorities and what everyone is working on. And nobody can have an excuse of pausing his or her workflow due to waiting on something from someone else. Third time around, where are you stuck? Point out exactly where you're stuck or what you need help with so others know and can assist. This is probably the one that's hardest for people to own up to and something that's really important. If no one's stuck, that's a red flag. Fourth time around, KPIs, key performance indicators. Everyone should have a daily KPI, know what a good day looks like of work. And that leads to tracking toward your short and long-term goals at the company. Subjective or objective. And the fifth time around, it's about acknowledgement and reward or a closing thought. One word in terms of how they're feeling, providing, pay homage to a peer manner that's gone above and beyond or exhibit a core value or help with a deadline. So those are typically the 5 topics. Again, that could vary, but the key is consistency and making it come alive every single day. As you begin to implement these communication rhythms, you will see it will transform the flow of communication within your organization. And in fact, you should experience that you're actually saving time. And don't wait. At a minimum, send a daily recurring invite right now and begin your daily huddle first thing in the morning. This is the stuff that growth is made of.